Hello and welcome to the Longevity Lab. In the world of longevity and performance, hormones are a hot topic. In fact, hormone therapy has become so common, many women feel like it's a given, almost a requirement after a certain age. But is that really the case? In this episode, I want to challenge that assumption. I'm not here to sell you on hormone therapy or scare you off it. I'm here to help you understand what it is, what it isn't, and what might be missing from the conversation entirely. After years of working with thousands of labs, countless patients, and yes, even trying hormone therapy myself, I've seen what works, what doesn't, and why some women thrive while others hit a wall. This episode is for women who are considering hormone replacement therapy, maybe questioning if it's right for them, or possibly frustrated and a little confused as to why they didn't get the results that everybody else did. Let's dig in. Hello, I am Dr. Jae Hitson, and welcome to the Longevity Lab. In the world of longevity, hormones are absolutely the hot topic. I am fascinated by how many individuals I meet, and especially when I tell them I'm in functional medicine, they almost assume that I do hormone therapy because so many of the people in this world of anti-aging medicine and functional medicine, they've really gone this route of hormones and HRT, hormone replacement therapy. And here's what I want to talk to you about today. I am not pro or con necessarily on HRT, but I want to because I don't think that by itself it's really the right topic. When we're looking at hormones, do you need hormones? Do you not need hormones? Getting your hormones tested, all of that. I want to go a little bit into the backstory, a little bit of my experience with it, and just kind of the philosophy that I've developed over the course of these years in working with hormone replacement therapy, and hopefully in that process, maybe give you some enlightenment on some of the results or some of the maybe skepticisms that you've had. So when we first started hearing about HRT, I mean, it was making really big news, and it was definitely something that I was very interested in bringing into my clinic. I mean, who doesn't want to feel younger? Who doesn't want to feel better and stronger and sleep better and and feel sexier? And I mean, it's awesome, right? And here's this very simple thing: just get your hormones and everything will be better. And we started meeting with the reps, who provide the various hormone replacement therapies, and they are very enthusiastic. And let me tell you, these reps, they are sold out. And I get it. I really do understand the potential that is out there. And so, I mean, right away, we jumped on. Like this sounds amazing. A lot of the bad rep that hormones had gotten years ago with regards to like hormones causing cancer, they really had really good research showing that, you know, this type of therapy that is not necessarily the case, though, they even still advise if somebody's at very high risk for cancers, this is probably a bad idea for them. It's probably a contraindication. Um, but they're getting into a lot of the myths and the lores, but I mean, really, really selling me on the amazing benefits. So we started doing HRT, on both men and women. Now, let me just already start this conversation off with there's a very big difference between HRT for men versus HRT for women. Men, it's very straightforward. The overwhelming number of men who have low testosterone levels, if you raise their testosterone levels, they feel awesome. It's such an overwhelming percentage. It's really hard to debate it. I mean, and here's the thing is I'm seeing, really very little side effects, if any. So, and let me say, if you're one of the few men who did do HRT and you saw nothing, then we really have to dig deeper because there's something else going on at a much deeper level. So let me just preface it there. I'm really, really talking to mostly women on this topic with regards to, should you not, or what kind of results you'll get with HRT. Now, then whenever we started, again, when we're working with women, first of all, I had it done myself because if there is a way I can test it on me, I'm always up for being the guinea pig first. Now, my levels weren't like ridiculously off. I'm in my 40s. I mean, how off can they be? And living fundamentally healthy lifestyle, but there was some room for improvement. So I did get the procedure done. Went with pellet therapy for those of you who are familiar with the different types. And I will tell you this, hands down, that, for like the first 2 weeks after that, that was some of the most incredible sleep of my life. I mean, really, like just intense, that like lay your head down, close your eyes, and then you open them and it's morning. I mean, it was incredible sleep for about 2 weeks. And that was awesome. But let me just tell you, I gained like between 5 and 10 pounds that have been the hardest 5 to 10 pounds I have ever had to lose. And I'm gonna say, it may not sound a lot, but I'm a small frame person, 5 to 10 pounds, and your jeans don't fit. So that really kind of upset me, because I was told that HRT was going to help me lose weight, and that was very discouraging. On like not only that not only did that not happen, but it created the most resistant weight I've ever dealt with. And then after that, like for the most part, I'll say I didn't really experience too much. So okay, so be it. Not everybody gets the same results. We started working with women, getting them on their hormone therapies, and it was really mixed reviews. Um, Very few people lost weight. I'm gonna tell you right now, really don't know anybody who did, of the many, many that we worked with. Some improved like the hot flashes. I think that was probably the number one that we did see. Libido. Many people were, happy about how the libido changes. There's a little bit of improvement with energy. There was some improvement for some people with vaginal dryness. Um, but otherwise, it was okay. It was okay. Now, in the grand scheme of things, is okay enough. Well, that's up to the individual and how much, because HRT is not going to be covered, so this is all out of pocket. So, is there the value there? And then, that's a question each and every person has to answer for themselves. But we were kind of questioning it, like, is this a good enough value for for what we're seeing, on the average? Now, were there a few, like, radical testimonials? I guess so. I mean, to be honest, I can't really even remember them. This is a few years back. I mean, they don't really stand out, but I mean, I guess that they happen. Now, have I talked to women who have said it's made all the difference in the world? Yeah, I absolutely have met them. So by no means can I discount the therapy in any stretch just because, we weren't seeing that on a consistent basis. So so me being the epitome of a researcher that I am, I got to get to the solution. So we were at a conference on anti-aging medicine, and they had like the guru of gurus in hormone replacement therapy speaking. And then she actually had like an after hours where you could go and really talk to her and meet her and get way more in depth. And this conference, it's all to healthcare providers. So it's not the general public. And I'm going to tell you, like, after her decades and being the person who's literally written the book on hormones, her experience was really similar to what I have seen. Men getting incredible results, and women, a mixed bag. And I was I was like, encouraged, like discouraged, and also like justified in the same vein. And so we went and we were able to talk to her, in the after hours. and just asking. And yeah, she just kind of confirmed, yeah, like, yeah, it's really, really difficult to get consistent results with women. Like a lot of times, she was even saying, you get results at first, or you'll get results at first, and then it like tapers off, and then you don't get as great results. Like, okay, well, that's that could be really frustrating for all involved. Um, so then what's the answer? Then what's the answer? And as I started to really look at it, I run so many labs and I see what people's blood work, and we always run hormones. And it really is fascinating as I go through how many people who have extremely low hormone levels feel great. They feel absolutely fine. Women who have had complete hysterectomies are on nothing and have really no issues associated with having low hormones. And then you have a ton of women whose levels are average, and they have ridiculous symptoms. So you get, I hope you follow me on like the numbers and the way people feel are just don't match up when you're looking at hormones specifically. And then on the other side, I have all of these different women who they are getting HRT. Their numbers are through the roof. I mean, just outrageously high. Yeah, they feel okay. So if high hormone levels fix the problem, then these women should feel great. They don't. So, what is the real answer? Now, let's go back to if you've been watching my series, and I talk about this all the time, the body prioritizes essential functions over non-essential functions. So, and there is no system less essential than the reproductive system. You can absolutely live without it. And in fact, once you reach a certain age, it's no longer something that, especially women, it's no longer something that is made a priority by the body because we don't even want the system to do its job of reproducing. So when you're looking at that, when the body prioritizes essential over non-essential, when we look at you like a whole person and we go through and we find out what is siphoning off resources, which areas of your essential resources, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your central nervous system, what is needing so much of your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that there's just nothing left to regulate your hormones? Or even furthermore, are you just not getting the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients? And that, let's just face it, that's really, really common in American society. And this is, especially so many women, we're focused on the calories. Well, calories and nutrients are not the same thing. And we have a tendency to find foods that we tend to be attracted to high calorie, but low, poor quality nutrient foods. They taste really good. They're yummy. Um, but the problem is day after day, year after year, decade after decade, now you're so depleted and so drained. Your body is running on absolute E, and there's just nothing left. So, with regards to what I am seeing, and as I've reflected back on my experience and watching the results objectively of what's happening with HRT. One of the key things that the reps, when we first met with them, they were so adamant though, you have to put people on our supplements. These particular supplements, they have to take these. If they're going to get results, they need these particular supplements. And I will say, they're right. When people did take them, they felt better. And when they didn't get as good results. Okay, that's very fair. But then I'm going back now and I'm looking at it from a different angle. How much were the supplements already a big part of the solution and not necessarily maybe the hormones per se? So for those of you who are watching this, and again, if HRT is working for you, fantastic. You probably weren't even watching this video if that's the case. But there's so many individuals who they're considering it, or but they're just not sure if it's right for them. If you're in that boat, what I strongly encourage you is that you need to be healthy at a cellular level no matter what, if you're going to get amazing results and if you're going to invest the hundreds and thousands of dollars into HRT, I really do get yourself fueled up first and then see if you even need them then. Any physician out there who says, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you eat healthy. It doesn't matter if you exercise. It doesn't matter if you're taking the right supplements. These hormones will fix everything." That's ridiculous. We all know that that's the foundation. I know, let's face it, most of the people in the HRT world, they're people who come from the medical side, disenchanted by the medical side. So now they're trying to stay in healthcare, but stay in healthcare in a different way. The way that they're trained is that it's still kind of a pill for every ill, but now we're just using hormones or we're using peptides or we're using ozone or we're still kind of doing that. They're still not addressing the foundation and they're still finding just different ways to throw a pill at it. Except for now it's a more natural, more socially acceptable version of a pill. And I'm not opposed to it. Especially if you have done all of these other things and you still need a boost, absolutely. But let's just not put the cart before the horse. So for those of you who are just considering it, that's my advice. Get really, really healthy first so that your investment goes the full measure. If you are one of those people who, like, maybe got results at one time, maybe you're not getting them anymore, or you never did, you're gaining weight, really do look at getting healthy at the cellular level. Where are there depletions in your system? And again, we use the blood work to find those, but there's so many different avenues, and I just can't encourage you enough there. And for those of you who are having a lot of symptoms that you associate with hormones, but you can't have HRT, maybe you are high risk for cancers. Anybody who has Hashimoto's really should think hard and long about going on any kind of hormone interventions at all. All those with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition, if you have that particular thyroid condition, hormones can just spiral the Hashimoto's, which you don't want. You don't want to create another problem. There are other ways, wonderful ways that leave you incredibly healthy, where you can have an amazing, fulfilling life, feeling youthful and vibrant and sexy. And it's really not that hard. So that's the encouragement I want to give to anybody who has felt let down by the path that they're on. There are answers. I'm Dr. Jae Hitson, and this was the Longevity Lab. Thank you for listening to the Longevity Lab. I hope today's episode gave you some clarity when it comes to hormones and what actually is driving how you feel. Remember, you're not broken just because your lab numbers are low. Hormone therapy can be very helpful for some, but it isn't a magic fix. And it's definitely not your only option. Before you invest in expensive treatments, get your foundation right. Fuel your body at the cellular level. Identify what's draining your resources and make sure your system has what it needs to thrive. That's when real, lasting transformation begins. If you want help figuring out where to start, head to GoodDoctors.Health. We're here to help high-impact women build strong, smart, personalized health strategies using their real data. Until next time, stay curious, stay strong, and stay committed to your longevity.